Hey Entrepreneur Network, back at you from Collision Conference. I'm Michael Donnelly with Redefined Work, and we are here with Keisha Howard of Sugar Gamers on site in the Media Lounge. Keisha, tell us a little bit about yourself and Sugar Gamers.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
And Sugar Gamers is an advocacy organization, and basically we want to make sure that underserved and underrepresented demographics, specifically in video games, tech, geek culture, understand the opportunities that are there for them and have a warm community that will support them on their journey, because there are challenges when you come from a marginalized sort of community. So yeah, it's been fun. I've been doing this for 8.5 years, and
so
I'm
just
here.
a little while.
Right.
Unlike some of our startups here, you're kind of more in the scaling growth phase. So you talked about marginalized individuals and representing underrepresented communities. Will you kind of dive into that a little bit further? Because I think that's really important for our listeners to understand and feel that support and understand which communities they can be a part of and how we can grow that engagement and that kind of support overall.
Well, I mean, one of the things I want to say is that, it's not all negative. It definitely is positive growth. Every day I see more women, I see more people of color in this space doing amazing things. But there's still a lot of work to be done. And when I go to, say, like a South Side school in Chicago's challenged neighborhoods,
Chicago.
I'm still like encountering young women and men who just don't see themselves represented in this space.
Okay.
And it's just important, for us to represent these opportunities and how fun it is to learn these very productive skills like coding, programming, and how your creativity can apply to the tech world too. It's not all about coding and programming either, but if you do music, or if you're a writer, or if you like character design, you can still go into gamification, or you can still go into some tech niche, whether it's marketing, any number of opportunities are there, but we're just not talking about them enough. There's not enough representation. And so that's what Sugar Gamers is all about, to make it fun, to make it accessible, and to represent a diverse community in this space.
That's super cool. I think that it's really important for us as entrepreneurs and individuals that are looking to be creative or kind of get out there, helping to shift the paradigm of understanding, to see people like us on stage, to see people like us as role models, just in general business, but also in growth and in fun. And starting at that young age is really important. Understanding that, hey, if this person can do it, I can do it. It's important that there are people that look like us in those roles, so that we can continue to strive to be that, and encourage that opportunity of growth. So, did you have something to say?
I mean, yeah, like when I was a kid, it's not that anyone ever told me that, no, you can't be in tech. But just the psychology behind how a child looks up to different adults around them. I just never saw myself, as a person that worked in the video game industry. So I just wanted to, now I'm very passionate about it, because
I can feel it.
I have these little girls, these teenage girls, they're just like, and I'm just like,
hey, that's me, you're talking
right. It's really cool. So, I'm glad to have the opportunity to come to places like this and meet progressive thinkers and be immersed in such a diverse space. Just have exposure to all the different stories and experiences from just people different from myself as well.
Yeah, so you talked about getting started and how no one really told you no, but the differences around what you were seeing kind of created that feeling almost in the beginning, but you persevered through it, and you're here today. How did you get started? What were the kind of guiding principles that allowed you to get through that time when it was a bit of a struggle? I mean, we talked about in the last interview peaks and valleys of entrepreneurship. What were the kind of main things that drove you through that to the point that you are today, to be able to sit here and be like, hey, little girls, hey, everybody who's out there watching us, this is what it can be like, but don't think this is an overnight success. Everything happened over time, and we got here because of these kind of driving areas.
Well, first I want to say that the struggle is still real. And I love the quote, it takes 10 years to become an overnight success, because after 8.5 years, I am just now sort of gaining traction and momentum and what I believe is a very purposeful endeavor. But yeah, it's very challenging, and when I first got into it, it was accidental, but I am the type of person, I don't fail until I quit.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to fail at this. I still don't want to fail at this. I think this is so important to me, and I'm just not going to fail.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to quit. So even if it's hard, I just put one foot in front of the other and just keep going. And I get to hear from little girls that are just like, oh, I'm inspired and motivated by you, or moms that are just like, I didn't even know that gamers existed. I'm gonna rethink the way I feel about my kids playing video games and the intellectual and educational merits there are. I mean, and then I hear these things, I'm like, I'm doing something right, and I'm contributing to a solution.
And we're going to change the world a little bit. I mean, it only takes one person to actually start something that changes the life of one individual, but the more people that you connect with, the bigger and better it gets. So tell me about your day-to-day. What's life like as a sugar gamer?
Oh man,
as the sugar gamer.
I have to say it's a lot of fun, even though, again, there are some challenges. What's fun is I get to constantly meet new people, and I am exposed to all these new technological advances.
Yeah.
You know, things that are happening.
We're surrounded by a few of them right here.
Right, you know.
You should see our setup. It's always interesting.
It's, you know, just getting to see like what's going to happen with virtual reality or drone racing, or how we're going to play video games next, or, you know, just the application of some of the technologies that we have, like taking a picture of something and no longer, you know, typing a word into Google to find out the information, but taking a picture and seeing all the information around that picture. It's just, you know, it's mind-blowing, and it's always changing. It never gets old. It's always exciting, never boring. And I feel like I am I'm constantly learning. I'm just a student of life, being a sugar gamer. And I get to share this with everybody that's part of the community, and they can see like, oh man, I never knew that, you know, this existed, and I want to get more into that. So right now the big thing that everyone is talking about is VR, and
AR VR revolution.
Mixed reality, you know, like MR. So that's really exciting. So just constantly learning, constantly meeting new people, constantly being exposed to new stuff, and just the frenzy, the energy in this space is really, I don't know, kinetic. It's really infectious. It's just like you meet somebody, so many entrepreneurs, and they're all so excited and passionate about what they're doing, and you can't help but like get some of that.
You get the vibes, and it just gets you charged up to keep going and be a part of the community, and make sure that interaction is happening. So you're here at Collision. What is the main goal for you down here at this event?
Really, it's just to meet these really enthusiastic startup founders and hear some of their stories, especially women, people of color, people who are just working in this space and doing progressive things. And I want to basically show the world and help tell their stories. You know, just in case they're the underdog and they're not getting exposure from big media outlets, then, you know, we can give them a shout out, and, you know, just keep them motivated and acknowledge them, you know? So I really want to meet those people, see what they're doing, see what new ideas are being exchanged, and that's why I'm here. And that's why I love these types of conventions and conferences.
So if someone wants to get involved in Sugar Gamers, how would they go about that?
I mean, we're pretty much everywhere. All social media is Sugar Gamers. Just type in Sugar Gamers, we'll come right up. If you want to get in touch with me individually, just take the S off. It's just Sugar Gamer, and you'll find me. But we've been online for the past 7 years, 8 years, and then we also have events. So in July, we might be having an interesting VR event at Virgin Hotels in Chicago.
Oh, cool.
So look out for that, and just exciting stuff. So just check out our website. Same thing, Sugar Gamers. So you can't really miss us.
Advice for aspiring entrepreneurs. We're reporting live for Entrepreneur Network right now. The people who are tuning in always love to kind of hear nuggets of knowledge or opportunities where we can continue to grow our journeys.
Just get ready to take the plunge. You know, like, you got to lose the fear. I mean, it's impossible to lose the fear all the way, but you got to take that jump and Will Smith had a great video that success and opportunity lies on the other side of fear, like on the other side of your terrifying experience.
Jump through that line.
Yeah, you gotta take the plunge, you gotta go off the cliff, you gotta build the plane on the way down. All those sayings are exceptionally true. You gotta keep going when it's hard, you can't give up, all that good stuff. It's not easy. Yeah. But
we know.
This path is one of the most fulfilling, things that I've ever decided to do in my life. I would not trade the freedom that I have pursuing what I'm passionate about for anything, no matter how hard it is. And if entrepreneurs out there feel like their idea is that amazing and they're that passionate about it, then nothing should be able to stop you from doing what you have to do.
Keep it going, keep your head down and go for it. Well, thanks Keisha for spending some time with us today. Thanks Entrepreneur Network. We'll be back in just a second with a few other startups and founders through the hour, so be sure to tune back in. Thanks again.